How we doing, everybody? Hope everybody's having a great day, great weekend. Let's talk about No Hard Feelings. So it's a new movie with Jennifer Lawrence and Matthew Broderick, Natalie Morales, and Laura Bernanti. So for the most part, an unknown cast, unless you're doing some TV, because a lot of TV people in here. And the other young person that plays the son in this is Andrew Barth Feldman, who hasn't done a whole lot. But it was written and directed by Gene Stupnitsky. I think I said that wrong. So Stupnitsky. I think that's how you spell it. But anyway, he's done a lot of TV and some movies as well. Trophy Wife, which was actually very good. Actually, I liked a lot of stuff that he's done. He's also done The Office. He's also done Bad Teacher, Good Boys, stuff that I've liked for the most part. And, you know, he knows how to take a comedy and revolve it around grounded people. Okay? So I like a lot of that, what he's done. And, of course, a lot of what he's done is very forgettable for the most part. So, of course, Jennifer Lawrence has not done a movie in a little bit here. She's done the Netflix show about the meteor and The End, I think it was called. But for the most part, we haven't seen a whole lot out of her. And she knocks it out of the park in this one. You know, you could say a whole lot about her, about the fact that whatever she opens her mouth in the real world, in everyday life, she just spews just non-common sense. I don't know. She's got to be educated because she speaks like an educated person. However, the facts that come out of her mouth look completely non-educated. So, but no matter what you say about her, I personally think she's very sexy. And on top of that, she knows how to emote without dialogue. And on top of that, she has pretty good comedic timing, which we really never explored with her before this film. And I wasn't sure if she was going to be able to pull it off. And lo and behold, she did. Now, the other writer of this is John Phillips, and he's an actor for the most part. So I think that he was basically friends with Gene, and they came up with this idea together, and they decided to go for it. And since Gene had, writing and producing experience, they let him direct. I think this is his directorial debut in this. And not bad being your directorial debut and directing, Jennifer Lawrence. So, this is not an Academy Award-winning film. She's definitely not going to win any awards for this. But it was entertaining, and it was, like I said, grounded. I think that's the biggest thing, is that it's grounded with characters that all have their own arc. So he knows how to write that where it's not just a flat character that's, like Apatow does. Like Apatow doesn't know how to do anything that has characters that aren't a piece of paper. But I found that the characters here had very deep trauma to deal with on both sides. And so we feel for them because right in the beginning, I feel that Jennifer Lawrence's character, Maddie, is kind of bitchy, So she has, her arc is that she can't get close to people. All right. So whenever she starts getting close to people, she runs in the opposite direction. Mostly because she has daddy issues. So it's a daddy issue type character. And on top of that, she's trying to live up to her mother. So she has the weight of both of these people on her throughout the entire film. And whenever somebody crosses that line with her, she immediately, without her saying a word, you immediately know what she's thinking. Which that is props to Jennifer Lawrence, because a lot of actors can't do that. You can't portray to the audience without speaking. And, and a lot of the stuff was wide shot, wide or mid. So she's not even using her face for the most part, because we're not seeing it close up. We're seeing it in her body language. And that's very strong. So she definitely knows how to use her body language. Matthew Broderick. So Percy's parents are Matthew Broderick and Laura Bernanti. So, of course, we know Matthew Broderick from everything like the 80s. And so Laura Bernanti is mostly a television actress. I don't know how many films she's done. I don't think she's done a film of this caliber ever. But you will know her from the CW with she played Kara Zor-El, which is Supergirl's mother. She was also in Nashville. So she's done a lot of television. That's basically her thing. But she's 40 and he's 60. So you have a 20-year difference in there. And I don't know if it's just because Stupinski wanted to work with her because she was talented, and I think she's talented. And again, she's very sexy too. But I think it was a little bit more than that, because Jennifer Lawrence comes in at 30 years old and as a character, and is tasked with dating their son, who's 19. So there's a 10-year gap between them. And I think that they purposely made a gap between Matthew Broderick's character and Laura Bernanti's character because she was okay with the age difference, even going in the opposite direction. So that's the basic storyline, is that they want to prepare their non-social son, their awkward son, for the real world. And he basically locks himself in his room. He doesn't have any friends, and he's going to college, and they feel that he's unprepared. So they want to instill some confidence in him. And by doing that, they hire Jennifer Lawrence's character to bring him out of his shell, and mostly just to have sex with him. That's the basic goal. It doesn't quite work out that way. And, she's in need of money. She's about to lose her mother's house, and her car gets repossessed, and she needs to replace that car. And these people happen to have a car that they were going to sell. For everybody. And, of course, they have to keep it a secret from the son, or else it will not help his confidence level of what they're looking to build. So, and then we have two other characters played by Natalie Morales and Scott MacArthur, who play Sarah and Jim. And Natalie Morales, mostly I know her from Powerless, where she played a superhero in that. That's where I basically know her from. I know she's done a pile of other things, but that's basically where I know her from. So that's the basic plot and storyline. And, I think the characters meld very well together. They're very well defined, so you know where they're coming from. And then Natalie Morales' character is pregnant. So even the little side characters have an arc. And the arc is tied to Jennifer Lawrence's character. And I'm going to do as, non-spoilery as possible. But on top of that, if you're wondering if Jennifer Lawrence is going to get naked again, like she's done in her last few films, I was waiting for it, and I'm like, she's going to do it? And they were kind of shying away from it. And I'm like, no, because you know how even the girl from Game of Thrones is like, yeah, I'm not. She was like naked in every episode, but when she got famous, she was like, okay, I'm not doing it anymore. And that's about how I felt this was going to be. But nope. There's a whole scene where it's a fight scene on top of that, where she gets naked literally from head to toe. So she's definitely not shying away from showing off her body, which I was very happy with. But so the film was very funny at times, and even the kid had some good comedic timing, so they were able to play off one another And again, I attribute that to Jennifer Lawrence. She probably knows how to work with a co-star and fed him cues on what she needed to make the scene funny. And I think it all works for the most part. And you kind of wonder at the end, what's going to happen. They really, because of the age difference, they really can't be together. But yeah, do they grow as people? Does he end up, ruining his life to be with her? Or does he grow to be more acclimated for when he goes to college? Which was the basic tour of the movie, and there's no woke stuff in here at all. They didn't go near it, which I was very pleasantly surprised with. I was waiting for the gay friend to come in or something to that effect, or we have to go to a pride event or whatever. But nope, it was none of it at all, not even a hint. So I was happy to refreshing to have. A movie that could easily have put that in there and didn't. And it's basically even though the two main characters are the main stars. That's what everything revolves around them. However, all of the extraneous characters have their own arcs, which I've got to give props to the writer for that, or the two writers in this case. Even though I think that one is pretty much the writer, the other one was kind of the tag along. Because even the parents learn something by the end, and again, most writers would just forget about the minor characters and not deal with it. I mean, even the dog has an arc. And in fact, I sat next to a whole bunch of women. The audience, it was sold out, by the way, on Thursday night. So I would say because even sitting next to me because I went by myself, so single man by himself. The guy next to me was also by himself. And then there was a couple next to him. It was fairly funny because the woman couldn't see. I guess she went to the bathroom, and I guess she misjudged which seats. So she starts pulling on my tray. I had a tray that, with a side of a recliner. For a minute there, I thought she was going to sit on my lap. And then she got real. I'm like, ma'am, I'm on E5. And she's like, oh, shit, sorry. And she ran over embarrassed to her mate. And so anyway, the woman next to me, I guess understood, or could identify with Jennifer Lawrence's character. Whenever she overly tried to be sexy and awkward as she was trying to be sexy, they all laughed and covered their faces and stuff to that effect. So I guess all women kind of have done that in the past, and they were identifying with it. And then there was one scene where where he sings, and it starts out kind of badly and then it gets better. And they were like, "Oh, please stop, please stop." So it was an enjoyable film and obviously memorable because it's been obviously several hours since I got out of the theater, and I still remember all the scenes. In fact, even the first scene, I'm going to give away the very first, the opening credit scene, because it's just nothing. So it literally follows the hook. Now, most tow trucks nowadays don't have hooks like that, but it follows the hook of the tow truck throughout the town. And that's all you see in the middle of the screen is a hook. So I found that kind of interesting because here we are in a comedy and we're following a tow truck hook. In fact, we don't even know it's part of the tow truck. We just see the hook until we see the tow truck like a minute later, pull into a driveway. And then from that point, you already know because that scene was in the trailer. But yeah, so I recommend this movie. Actually, it's It's a nice little date movie. It has funny parts. It might make you even tear up, depending on how attached you get to any of the characters. And it starts out very awkward with these two people, and that by the end they're very familiar with one another, and you feel that they're going to be friends their whole lives. And I think that's pretty cool. So anyway, that's it for me for the review of. The name of the film. It's No Hard Feelings, but it always gets stuck. I can't. It doesn't. It's not a name. I think that's the problem. Is that the name doesn't fit the film. I just thought about that because every time I go to do like a little, like I did my Out of the Theater review, and the name of the movie never comes to me. And I think it's because the name does not fit the film. Let me know in the comments below what you would have called it if you, after you see it, what you think it would be called. Because this is, I just realized that the name isn't good for the film. And I wonder how it's going to do this week. I think Jennifer Lawrence can pull. I think she can still pull an audience, and I think that people haven't seen her long enough that she's gonna bring out some people. And I don't think there's anything comedic out right now. So I think it's a date movie, and I think a lot of women are gonna take their men to see it. So we'll see what happens this week because Flash is gonna die a very quick death, unfortunately. I think a Little Mermaid was down to. I went to each individual theater like I always do, and Little Mermaid was like in one back theater anymore. So that thing's dead. That thing's gone now, and there wasn't barely anybody in that theater. And we have Mission Impossible coming. That's gonna raid the box office, man. If anybody's trying to stand up against that, I don't know how Oppenheimer has their own core audience for biopic, true story type of stuff, and then of course the director has his thing. So that's going to do okay, but it's going up against Mission Impossible, man. I think Mission Impossible is going to crush it. It's going to crush everything that's out right now. So I think that anything's out right now, and Transformers had some people in the theater. But that's on its way out. The only thing that might have some staying power is Spider-Man. I saw a bunch of people still in that theater, so that still might have some staying power. Everything else is out the door. Flash is going to be out the door. Elemental's out the door. Little Mermaid's out the door. Everything is gone. And so we'll see what happens with Mission Impossible in a couple of weeks. And then we have a horror film. We have Insidious coming out in July. So we have some good stuff coming up still. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to Mission Impossible. So that's so I think they're estimating at 12 million for this one. I'm kind of think it's getting closer to 20. I don't know. I've got to look at the budget of this. But Jennifer Lawrence is, of course, the most expensive part of this. Everything else, it's all contemporary. It takes place just a few locations. So if the movie's more than 30 million, something's wrong. And if it can pull 20 and it's for opening weekend, it'll be fine. Because internationally, I don't know what kind of a draw internationally Jennifer Lawrence has. So we'll see. I might do a follow up and just on the financial side of things. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. I wanted to beat this at 15 minutes, so that didn't happen. But just gonna plug my own stuff real quick. So Destiny Aurora. Oops, wrong side. Destiny Aurora, the graphic novel. And, here's, I always pull the same thing. So we have X, there's your spaceships, there's my android. So you got plenty of action going on with this. The artwork's pretty decent. There's Flibby, who's my cat character, who's up here. And yeah, if you haven't picked this up, it's I'll put a link below. In fact, I just called one of the stores carrying Lords of L.A. The first issue, the first and second issue in the first book, combined, and he said he was almost sold out of it. He said everybody liked it, so that's really nice. And then, of course, the book that I'm really excited about too, about everybody reading, Tales from Rivendell, the Iron Witch, my hardcover. We also have softcover. But yeah, this thing looks great. And again, we're getting some really good feedback on this one. And again, all my characters also have arcs. Even my side characters. So again, excited for everybody to read that. And Lords of LA as well. So just about finished with the third issue, and the last 2 pages are getting colored. So I'm going to be launching that soon. All right, and remember to like and subscribe and share, because again, I'm trying to get monetized with my channel. I need to do about 4,000 views per month with all the videos combined. So if you guys can help me get to that point, that would be amazing. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting not only my videos, but all of my projects as well. And you have a great night, and talk to you soon.